The Sea of Adventure by Enid Blyton. Dramatised by Edward Kelsey. As the night express sleeper train thundered its way northwards to Scotland, 4 children and a bearded, bespectacled man talked over their coming holiday before turning into their bunks for the night. There were 2 boys and 2 girls. Philip and Dinah Mannering were dark-eyed and dark-haired, with queer tufts of hair that insisted on sticking up in front. They were both called Tufty at school. Jack and Lucy Ann Trent had red hair and green eyes, and were so covered with freckles that it was not surprising that Jack was often called Freckles. The Trents had no father or mother, and lived with Philip and Dinah and Mrs. Mannering like one family. The man travelling with them was an old friend, Detective Inspector Cunningham, who was known to the children as Bill Smuggs. There was one other member of the party, Jack's parrot Kiki, who went everywhere with him.
I don't think Kiki recognises you, Bill.
That's good. It's not much use wearing a disguise, Jack, if everybody knows who you are.
I don't like that bushy beard you've stuck on, Bill. I hope it comes off easily.
So do I, Lucy Ann. But I shall keep it on until we get safely out to sea tomorrow.
And we must all remember not to call you Bill. Bill.
That's right, Philip. I'm Dr. Walker, the ornithologist, going to study the birds amongst the islands off the northwest coast of Scotland.
And taking us on holiday with you at the same time. Thank you very much, Dr. Walker.
That's the ticket, Dinah.
Tickets, please. Tickets, please.
Be quiet, Kiki. I still wish you didn't have to wear that beastly beard.
Well, I've got to disappear for a while, Lucy Ann. You see, I was on a peculiar job, hunting down a gang of rogues, and then, before I knew what was happening, they got wind of what I was doing and began to hunt me down. I don't want to disappear, don't think that. I'm not afraid of any of them. But my chiefs can't afford to let anyone get hold of me.
I don't want anyone to get hold of you either, Bill.
Neither do any of us.
Of course not,
Bill.
Thank you, children. Nobody will get hold of me, don't you worry. Those Scottish islands are so far away from the rogues I was chasing, they won't possibly know where I am. And I must say that a holiday with you 4, and Kiki, of course, is just what I'm needing at the moment. And I'm looking forward to it immensely.
So are we, Bill.
Rather. But how do we get to the place we're going to? And where exactly is it?
Well, we get there by this train, and then another, and then by motorboat.
Motorboat, golly!
I've got a map here. Here, now, do you see? It's a map of all the many little islands dotted off the northwest coast of Scotland. Hundreds of them. Some are too small to map. I don't expect anyone has ever visited all of them. Only the birds live there. I thought we'd make one of them our headquarters and then cruise around a bit, taking photographs and watching the birds.
That sounds splendid, Bill.
Look, that island has a good name. The Isle of Wings. It must be full of birds.
Well, we'll try and go there. We shall probably get well and truly lost, but never mind. Who minds being lost on the blue-green sea in Maytime?
Hello, sailor.
My beard can come off too. And my glasses, thank goodness. Now we're safely out to sea. Here, Philip, you know how to steer a motorboat, don't you? Take the wheel whilst I make myself presentable again. No one's likely to see me now. Keep her going nor-nor-west.
Aye, aye, sir.
This is gorgeous. Simply, absolutely, perfectly gorgeous.
I've got such a lovely feeling. You know that lovely feeling you get at the very beginning of a lovely holiday?
Yes, it's marvellous being in a boat at sea.
And the weather's perfect.
Go for the show. My heart is.
We don't have to pull, Kiki, you silly bird. We've got a motorboat.
But we've got some oars, Jack. that we could use in an emergency if the motor should break down.
It won't break down, will it?
Of course not, Lucienne. Don't worry. Bill was given this boat by the secret people he works for, so you can be sure it's the best there is. There's heaps of food aboard, and a special radio transmitter and receiver, so that Bill can keep in touch with his chief.
That's right, Jack. Nothing but the best for you children. How do I look now?
Bill, dear old Bill, you look like yourself again. That's better, Bill. You'll never wear a beard again, will you? You look much nicer now, Bill.
Pay the bill! Pay the bill!
Shut up, Kiki, or the gulls will get you.
Right. I'll take over the wheel again, Philip. Oh, this is something like. Golly, if we get this weather, we'll all be well tanned in a day or two. Better keep your shirts on, boys, or you'll get blistered.
Do you think the men who were after you know you were up here, Bill?
Not a chance, Dinah. This is a holiday, my friends, not a hair-raising adventure. We've had enough of adventures. This time, I want a holiday.
Right. A holiday it should be. Adventures, keep out.
Gosh, listen to those birds.
And look at them. There must be thousands of them. They're nesting on that island up ahead.
And that island has appeared at just about the right time. It looks a good place to land on and make a camp for the night.
What's that? Listen,
What is it, Philip?
an aeroplane, surely.
I can't hear anything except the boat.
Listen.
Switch off the boat's engine. It's a plane up there. Look, you can just see it. Right off all the roofs. That's the last thing I expected to see here. Lend me your field glasses, Jack.
Here, Bill.
Thanks. No, too late. It's too far away to make out what it was. I wonder if it was a seaplane or an ordinary plane. Strange.
Why is it strange? Aeroplanes can go everywhere.
Yes, of course they can. Now, let's make for the island. Start the motor. We'll head for that gap in the cliff.
This is a perfect place to bring the boat in, Bill. The water's very deep.
Yes, it's a natural harbour.
Hidden harbour.
That's right, Lucienne. Put the fenders out now, Jack. We don't want the boat to bump against the cliff. Steady. Steady. Stop the engine. There. Tie her up to that rock, Jack.
Right, Bill.
Tide's up now. When it goes down, there'll still be plenty of water in this channel. Now, is there a way up the cliff from here? We don't want to have to walk down the ledge and clamber around the cliffs over hundreds of rocks before we get to the island proper.
Hi. We can get up here, I think. There are rocky shelves, like rough steps going up the cliff. And there's a break in it a bit above. We could probably clamber out all right and find ourselves right on the island.
Well, you four go and explore. I better stay with the boat and see that she doesn't get her side smashed in against the rocks. You look round the island and see if you can spot a sheltered cove somewhere that I can take the boat round to.
Right, Bill. Hang on, Jack. We're coming up too. Come on, Dinah.
I'm coming.
Lucienne, you climb up behind Dinah, and I'll bring up the rear. Then I can catch you in case you should slip. Come on, Lucienne. What are you doing?
I can see something floating in the water. What is it, Bill? Is it a jellyfish?
It looks like orange peel.
How could it be orange peel right out here? Do you think there are some other bird watchers about somewhere?
I shouldn't think so, Lucienne.
Then how could it get there?
Beats me. Now, off you go, Lucienne. The others are waiting for you. Find a good place to moor the boat, and then we can set up camp.
The children reached the top of the cliff rather out of breath, but the climb was worth the effort. The sea spread bright blue all round the island. They found a little cove which was perfect for the motorboat, and a dell between the cliffs where they could pitch their tents. Philip went back to tell Bill about the cove, and it wasn't long before the boat was moored and they'd set up camp.
You certainly found a good place to camp.
It's a marvellous island, Bill. I vote we make it our headquarters.
Jack likes it because there's a colony of puffins here.
They are funny birds, aren't they?
Yes, with those coloured beaks. All blue and red and yellow stripes.
And their beaks are enormous. They remind me a bit of Kiki's.
Well, puffins are often called sea parrots.
Are they? Wonder what Kiki thinks about that.
What a pity! Poor Polly!
Now, with all these puffins around, you'd better be careful when you explore the island.
Why, Bill? Are puffins dangerous?
Good Lord, no. And they seem to be very tame because they've never come across people before and they've no reason to be frightened of them.
Why must we be careful then?
It's because they make burrows in the earth to lay their eggs. Isn't that what you mean, Bill?
Yes. With all these puffins, there'll be lots of holes about, so you must watch out that you don't catch your foot in one and trip over and hurt yourself.
What was that?
Sounded like thunder.
Yes, I think it was. Long way away, though. Some unlucky people must be having a storm somewhere.
Well, I hope we don't get it.
The clouds certainly seem to be building up.
It's a good job we've got our tents up then. We shall have some shelter if it does rain.
Oh dear, there's some more thunder.
That's not thunder, Lucienne. That's an aeroplane.
Airplanes do seem to be busy in this part of the world.
Yes.
There's the plane, look!
Have you got your field glasses, Jack?
They're in the tent.
Get them quickly.
Look, there's something falling out of the plane.
Looks like a little puff of smoke.
Or a parachute. Hurry up with those field glasses, Jack.
Bill, I'm sorry. I'm sure I put them here.
Plane's nearly gone now.
That parachute or whatever it is still falling.
Here are the field glasses, Bill.
Thank you.
Sorry I was so long.
Can't be helped.
Can you see anything?
No. Nothing. It's below the horizon now.
Why do you look so serious, Bill?
Because I've got a feeling there's something, well, just a bit odd about these planes we've been seeing. I think I'll pop down to the motorboat and send a message through on the radio. Maybe it's nothing at all, but it just might be important.
I'm sure that storm is getting closer.
Yes, and an electric storm tends to make radio reception more difficult. I think it'd be better if I took the boat back to Lucienne's hidden harbour where we first landed. I think the radio would work better from there.
Can we come with you, Bill?
No, I don't think so, Philip. It's getting late and I may be some time getting through. You children ought to be getting to bed. You don't want to be so tired that you can't do any exploring tomorrow.
Bill's right, we should go to bed. Good night, Bill.
Good night, Bill. See you in the morning.
Good night, all of you. Sleep well.
Be careful, Bill.
Don't worry, Lucienne. I'll have breakfast ready for you when you wake up.
Bet I wake up first.
Come on, let's go to bed. Otherwise none of us will be able to wake up.
Not even you, Kiki.
Night, night, sleep tight. Time to get up. Time to get up. Wake up, sleepyhead.
All right, Kiki. All right. You awake, Philip?
Of course I am. How could anyone sleep with Kiki making all that noise?
What a pity. Poor Polly.
Come on. Let's go over to the girls' tent, see if they're up yet. Oh, it's a lovely day again. The storm seems to have passed us by for the moment.
The girls are up already, starting to cook breakfast by the look of it.
Hello, you lazy bones. I said I'd be up first, didn't I?
Breakfast is nearly ready. Why don't you boys go and wake Bill?
I'll go. Jack can help you with the breakfast.
Yes, all right.
Trust you when there's nothing left to do.
Turbany rice, half a pound.
Bill's not there. He's not back yet.
What?
He's probably up and exploring. He said he'd be awake before us.
No, he's not. He's not been back to his tent since he left it last night.
The children went down to the cove where the boat had been moored. It was not there. Bill must still be at the inlet between the cliffs where he'd taken the boat the night before. They went through the Puffin colony and came to the cleft in the cliffs. There, below them, lay the motorboat, swaying very gently as waves ran up under her and then ran back again. The children scrambled down the cliff towards it.
He's not on deck. He must be in the cabin. Come on.
Let's call him. I want to know if he's there. Bill! Bill, are you there? Bill! Bill, come on out!
Come on, let's get on board the boat.
Is he in the cabin?
No.
Well, where is he then?
He must be somewhere about because the boat's still here. He'll come along soon. Maybe he's exploring on the island.
I don't think so. Look there.
What? What's up?
The radio.
Smashed!
Smashed to bits. Who did it? And look at this. The engine. The boat's engine is smashed up too. Absolutely destroyed. My goodness, what's been happening here?
And where is Bill?
Gone. Kidnapped. Someone came for him in the night. They don't know we're here. I suppose they just thought Bill was alone. They've got him, and now we're prisoners on Puffin Island and we can't get away.
It must be a nightmare. It can't be true. Why, everything was as right as rain last night, and now...
It's true, all right. It isn't a dream.
Oh, let's sit down and not leave each other at all.
Don't worry, Lucienne. We've been in worse fixes than this.
We haven't. This is the worst fix we've ever been in.
Now listen. There's some chocolate in the cupboard here. Let's have some, because we haven't had breakfast yet, and we can't think straight on an empty stomach. Here, take some and pass it round, Lucienne.
Thank you.
Let's try and think out carefully exactly what must have happened.
Quack! Don't speak! Mouthful! Quack!
Oh, sorry, Kiki. Do you want a piece of chocolate too? Here you are.
Quack!
What could have happened?
Well, we know that Bill was worried about something. Those planes, for instance. He felt certain something strange was going on there.
Yes. And maybe in some way his enemies got to know he was here and came looking for him.
And found him. What a pity he sailed round here to use the radio last night.
Well, if he hadn't, the enemy, whoever they are, would probably have searched the island and found us too. As it is, they probably don't know we're here.
It wouldn't matter if they did know. They'd be quite sure we couldn't do any harm, living on an island we can't get off.
They must have seen the light from Bill's boat and slipped inshore quietly in a rowing boat.
Yes. Then they surprised Bill and knocked him out, I suppose. They've taken him away. Goodness knows what'll happen to him.
Oh, don't cry, Lucienne. We've got to make some kind of plan. Somehow we've got to escape from this island and decide what we're going to do until we escape.
Won't Bill's friends come and look for us when they don't hear from him on the radio?
How will they know which island we're on? There are hundreds of them.
We could light a fire on the cliff so that searchers could see the smoke. You know, like shipwrecked sailors do.
Yes, we could. Only the enemy might see it first.
Well, I think we've got to take that risk. There's nothing else we can do. If the enemy come, we shall just have to hide. But where there is to hide on this barren island, I just don't know.
The children collected driftwood and dry seaweed and made a large bonfire on the cliff and set light to it. It burned slowly and sent up great clouds of smoke. They spent the rest of the day moving all the food they could carry from the boat across the island and stored it in their tents. By 5 o'clock, they were tired out. The thunder clouds built up overhead. The children sheltered in their tents. Then the storm broke.
Gosh! The gale has blown our tents away. What are we going to do?
We better get down to the boat if we possibly can.
Come on! Lucienne? Dinah? Hold hands or we'll be blown away. I'll go first. Come on! We're doing fine. Ah!
Philip! wind!
What's up? Where's Philip?
He's disappeared, vanished!
Philip! Philip! Philip!
I'm here! Down here!
Where?
In a hole in the ground! In front of you! There's room for all of us! Come on in!
Gosh! Whew. Are you all right, Philip?
Yes, I'm not hurt at all. It's not bad in here. We'll be safe and dry until the storm's over. You girls all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
It's a bit smelly.
Beggars can't be choosers. Where's Kiki?
Down the well. Ding dong, pussy. Quack.
It's not a well, Kiki. It's a natural cavity of some sort, held together by roots and things above. But all that burrowing by the puffins made it give way when I trod on it. And down I fell. Well, it's just what we wanted for the moment.
I don't see why we shouldn't sleep here for the night. The soil is dry and soft, and the air seems to be good enough. Oh, congratulations, Philip, on finding us such a home for tonight. Very clever of you indeed. Good night, everybody. Good night.
The children slept well while the storm raged above them. The next day was bright and hot, with blue skies meeting the blue sea that surrounded them. They relit their fire, which had been put out by the storm, and discovered that the same storm had smashed their boat to pieces against the rocks. 2 days went by without anything exciting happening, although twice they heard aeroplanes in the distance. On the third day, they heard a different sound.
There's a boat coming.
Where? How far away?
Oh, quite a long way off. Sound travels further when the air is so still, but it won't take them long to come in and tie up. We'd better chuck everything into our hole at once.
What about the fire?
Have to leave it. I expect they've already seen the smoke anyway. That's why they're here. Quick, get a move on, Lucienne.
Everything cleared up?
Yes, Philip. Can't see anything else.
Right, let's get in the hole ourselves.
Are we all in? Right. Now I'll pull this heather over the opening, and nobody would know where the hole was unless they stepped on it.
It was lucky that I stepped on it during the storm. It makes a perfect hiding place.
Hush! Quiet now. Whoever is in the boat will be here soon. Listen with all your might, so that we shall know if it's friends or foe. It would be too awful if it was friends and we let them go away without finding us.
How shall we know whether they are friends or foe?
We shall be able to tell by the way they talk about us. Shh! They're coming now. Whatever you do, keep quiet and don't say a word.
We'll search the whole place. Somebody must be keeping that fire going.
The 4 children sat huddled in their hidey hole, hardly daring to breathe, as 2 burly men stopped close to the hidden entrance.
Oh, we'll search the whole place. Somebody must be keeping that fire going.
There's nowhere much to hide on this small island. Nobody could get down those sheer cliffs, so that rules them out. There's obviously nobody in this valley, except these ridiculous birds.
Yeah, you're right. We'd better look somewhere else then.
Wait a minute.
What?
Look there.
What is it?
The wrapper from a bar of chocolate.
Yeah?
We're getting warm. Their hiding place can't be far off.
Yeah, but where? Those bird burrows aren't big enough to hide anybody.
Ah, stupid-looking birds look like clowns. What they call them?
Oh, I don't know. Well, it's puffins, isn't it? Sea parrots or something.
Hello, sailor.
Here, do you hear that?
Thought I heard something. But all these birds are making such a racket.
Yeah. I can't hear something. I mean, it's frightful, isn't it?
Dinah, what's your hands? There's a bird here somewhere that's talking.
Ah, don't be silly.
There you are, what did I tell you? Sea parrots, you said. There you are then, see? Parrots talk, don't they?
Yeah, and somebody has to teach them. Wait till I get my hands on the lot we're looking for. Making us waste our time on this island, I'll give him what for, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and I'll help you. What a pity! What a pity!
And I'll wring that bird's flaming neck. Come on, let's go find him. They must be close.
No, we don't know where to start looking. Let's get back to base and I can send somebody else. I've had enough of this island.
Yeah, you're right. Talking sea parrots. Come on, Stoner.
They're gone.
What a pity! What a pity!
Kiki, you awful idiot. You nearly gave the game away.
And so did I. I should never have left that chocolate wrapper lying about.
You say one more word and I'll tie your beak up with my hanky, you silly sea parrot.
How long have we got to stay here like this? I'm cramped.
I don't know. It would be dangerous to pop my head out and take a look and see.
What's that?
It's the men's motorboat. They're going.
Well, that was a jolly narrow escape. I really did think one of them would tumble in on top of us.
Yes, we've escaped this time, but you heard what they said. They're going back to base and they'll send somebody else here to find us.
And they'll probably be expert in sniffing people out.
Well, we'll just have to keep our fire going to let our friends know where we are, and we'll be ready for our enemies.
Put a few more sticks on the fire, Dinah.
There.
Good job there's plentiful supply of driftwood and seaweed on this island. We could keep this fire going for weeks if necessary.
We shan't have to stay here for weeks, shall we?
No, of course not. Someone will rescue us soon.
If those nasty men don't come and get us first.
Don't worry, Lucy-Anne. As long as we see them before they see us, we can hide in our hole and they'll never find us.
Suppose they see us first.
They won't. That's because one of us will always scan the sea through the field glasses. Like Jack now. All clear, Jack?
I don't know. I thought I... Hello? Yes. There's a boat. Coming this way. Philip, get your glasses.
Is it the same boat as before?
It's getting nearer. We shall soon know.
It looks a different one to me. Smaller. And it's coming from a different direction.
That might just be a trick to make us think it was a friend.
How shall we tell? Have we got to go and hide again?
Not just yet. Philip! There's only one man this time. He'll have to leave his boat moored somewhere if he's going to come and snoop for us. What about capturing it?
Golly, if only we could. It's a motorboat, a small one, but big enough to take us all easily.
Capture it, but how? The man would see us easily, come running up and capture us.
Now let's think a bit. That fellow can't be coming to rescue us, because anyone knowing we were all alone here would send a bigger boat, and probably more men, in case they had to tackle the enemy. If Bill had managed to get word to anyone, that's what they would have done. So it seems to me that this boat is not one sent to rescue us.
Then it's probably a trick of the enemies. They may or may not know there are only children here. It depends on how much Bill has told them. But they might quite easily send someone who would pretend not to be an enemy so as to try and fool us. And then we'd be persuaded to get into his boat to go to safety, and he'd take us off somewhere to join Bill as prisoners.
Oh, well, I certainly shan't get into his boat. Jack, what are we going to do?
Listen, I really have got a good idea, but it'll need all of us to carry it out.
Well, what have we got to do?
I'll tell you. We'll find out where he's going to moor his boat. We'll soon know, because we shall watch. The man will walk up onto the island to look for us, and we will...
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello!
Hello?
I was astonished to know there were people on this island.
Who told you?
What? Oh, nobody. I saw your spire of smoke. Whatever are you doing here? Is it just the two of you, or was there a camp of you or something?
There might be. Why have you come here?
Well, you see, I am an ornithologist. You won't know what that means, of course.
Yes, we...
No, we don't. Ornithologist. What's that?
Oh, well, my lad, it's a student of bird life, a bird lover.
Is that why you've come here, then? To study birds?
Oh, yes. I've been to this island before, years ago, when I was a lad, actually. So I was surprised to see your smoke going up. What's it for? You're playing at shipwrecked sailors or something. I know what children are.
Do you know a lot about birds?
Well, I don't know a great deal about seabirds. That's why I've come here. I know more about ordinary birds. By the way, my name's Tipalong. Horace Tipalong.
Trip along?
No, Tipalong. What's your name?
Lucianne. And my brother's name is Jack. Do you want to see the puffins? They're this way.
Oh, yes. I'd love to see the puffins. I'd also like to meet whoever's in charge of you. And where's your boat?
It was smashed up in the storm.
In a storm? Dear me, how dreadful. Then how are you going to get back home?
Look out!
What? Oh, dear.
You nearly put your foot in a puffin burrow. This place is undermined by puffins. Mind how you go.
Oh, dear me, yes. I mean, what a lot of birds.
We'd better walk in single file now. You go ahead. Straight on. That way.
Oh, very well.
Keep out of the way now, Lucianne. We've nearly reached our hidey hole.
All right, Jack. Be careful.
What was that?
I was telling my brother to be careful.
Oh, quite right, my dear. I mean, there are a great many of these puffin burrows, aren't there?
And some of them are bigger than others. In you go. There.
Help! Help! I'm falling! Help!
You didn't fall, Mr. Tipalong. You were tripped, and I tripped you.
You wicked boy, get me out of this hole. What do you mean by this?
Sorry, but it had to be done. Either you caught us or we caught you. We needn't go on pretending anymore. We know quite well what gang you belong to.
What are you talking about?
Get back in that hole or I'll hit you on the head with this stick. You're our prisoner. You took Bill. Well, now we've taken you.
I don't know what you're talking about, you nasty little creatures. I've hurt my head.
I'm really very sorry about it, but we had to get a boat somehow.
You mean now you're going to take my boat? Wait till I get hold of the people in charge of you, my boy. You'll get the worst hiding you've ever had in your life.
Here come Philip and Dinah.
You've got him, then?
Yes, he's well and truly holed.
Who's there? Is that somebody else? Now look here. You've just got to tell me what's going on here. I'm all at sea.
And that's exactly where we'll be soon, I hope. In your boat. Philip, meet Mr. Horace Tipalong.
My name is Tipalong, and I'll thank you to remember it, ill-mannered children.
Well, what are we going to do with him now we've got him? I suppose he is an enemy. I mean, he does sound rather a goof, doesn't he?
That's all part of a clever plan. He's just acting a part. Well, he's overacting. What's the boat like, Philip?
It's fine. Smaller than ours was, but there's plenty of room for all of us. We packed our food on board, as you said.
Good. Are there oars in it in case we want to cut the engines off and go into shore quietly?
Yes, I noticed some. But have you got a good plan, Jack? We want to escape, but we want to escape to somewhere. We'd better do it soon, too, because if dear old Mr. Tripalong doesn't get back to his gang with news pretty soon, they'll send others here.
Yes, I'd thought of all that too. Thing is, shall we try to find some fishermen and get help? Or shall we try to get to the mainland? Or shall we hunt for Bill?
I think we ought to try and find Bill first.
Good for you, Lucianne. That's what I think.
Me too.
And me.
Listen, I can hear a boat.
Shh! Quiet, everybody. Gosh, you're right, Lucianne. You've got good ears.
It's probably the gang come to help Horace.
What should we do, Jack?
What we were going to do, but we must do it more quickly. The enemy boat's coming in on the other side of the island. It's getting dark. If we row off the shore, they won't hear us. And when we've got a fair way out, they won't be able to see us either.
What about Horace? Won't he get out and try and stop us?
Leave that to me. He doesn't know the motorboat is coming to rescue him, because he won't be able to hear it down in the hole. Are you ready to move down to his boat when I give the word?
Yes, Jack.
I'm ready.
So am I, but what are you going to do?
Listen. Right. It's getting dark now, so we'd better get some sleep. We'll take turns so that Horace doesn't try to escape from his hole. You three sleep first and I'll keep guard. If Horace pokes his head out, I'll give him a terrible whack with my stick.
You wretched boy! I believe you would too. What a pity! What a pity! Ha!
Right. Come on now. Down to the boat. Horace won't dare go out for a while. Quickly. The other boat's nearly here. Right. I think we can stop rowing now.
Isn't it peaceful?
Don't talk too loudly, Lucianne. Now the motorboat is stopped, the men might be able to hear us on the island.
What shall we do now?
Well, the enemy who've just arrived won't take long to rescue Horace from his hole. Then they'll all set off back to their headquarters to tell them that we've escaped. Don't you think so?
I think you're right, Jack. Yes.
And it seems to me that that's where they'll be keeping Bill. So if we follow them when they leave the island, we may be able to rescue him.
Oh, good.
But they'll hear us following them.
No, they won't. Their engine is bigger than ours and makes so much noise that it will drown the sound of ours.
But they might see us even if they don't hear us.
There's a chance of that. But as their boat is bigger, we can see it from further away than they can see ours.
Yes. We shall keep as far behind them as we can and trust to luck. It's worth the risk to try and rescue Bill. Hello. They've rescued Horace. That didn't take them long.
Shall I start the engine and follow them?
Not yet. Give them a bit more of a start. Right. That's far enough. Start the engine, Philip.
Any more, Skylark?
Here we go.
Don't worry, Bill. We'll soon rescue you.
We've been travelling for ever so long now. How much further do you think they're going?
I don't know. But however far they go, we shall follow them if we possibly can.
Look, on that island ahead, there's a light showing.
So there is. What do you think it is, Philip?
I should think it's a signal light of some kind for the enemy boat. Yes, look, they're making towards it.
Right. Now we know where they're going. I think we'll wait a bit. Stop the engine, Philip.
Aren't we going to rescue Bill after all?
All in good time, Lucianne. We'll let the enemy land first and then we'll follow them quietly using our oars. Right, Jack?
That's the plan, Philip.
What shall we do when we get ashore? We don't know where Bill is or anything. He may not even be on that island.
No, he may not be, Dinah. But we shan't know unless we have a look. They're both stopped now. Time to get the oars out again, Philip. Careful. Not too much noise now. Ready?
Ready.
You steer, Dinah. Make sure we're heading for that light. All right, Philip. Pull. And pull. And pull. Stop rowing, Philip. What's that music?
It sounds like a band.
It's a radio. It's coming from that big boat moored alongside the jetty ahead. Do you see?
Yes, that's good. If they're listening to music, they won't be on their guard. Perhaps we can get past without being noticed. Just let the boat drift in.
Look, there's a man leaning over the rail of the boat.
There's another man coming over to him. Do you think they've seen us?
Shh, quiet.
Everything's all right? Oh, yes, sir. The last of the stuff was dropped today. The lagoon must be almost full now.
Yes, it's time we got some of it away. Can't keep valuable guns underwater for too long. Oh, well, they're wrapped. But we don't know how much that fellow we captured had passed on to his headquarters before we smashed his radio.
What about the other fellow we just brought in? I mean, he won't talk either. Says he's a bird watcher. What are we going to do with them?
They are safely locked up down below for the time being. Later, we'll take them out to sea and dump them somewhere. I am not going to waste any more of my time on that Detective Inspector Bill Smugs Cunningham. Time he disappeared. Forever. Was nice.
Right, sir.
Did you hear? They have got Bill.
Yes, and I suppose the other man must be poor old Horace. He wasn't one of them after all.
Well, he should have said.
I'm afraid we didn't give him much of a chance.
Anyway, we can rescue him at the same time as we rescue Bill.
What were those guns the men were talking about?
I don't know, but obviously Bill does. So we must get him out of there.
How?
I think the best thing would be for me and Jack to swim across to the enemy boat and climb up on the other side, away from that man. He doesn't look very alert. We may be able to release Bill and Horace before he notices anything.
Good. Come on then. Let's get over the side.
Do be careful, both of you.
We'll be all right. Don't worry. Here goes.
Well, here's their boat. I must say the water's colder than I thought.
Let's get on board then. Come on. Up we go.
There. That's it.
Where's the guard?
Over there.
The lazy so-and-so. He's gone to sleep.
So much the better for us. Now we must find Bill.
I came here to watch birds.
Listen. That's Bill's voice. I'm sure. He's locked in here, under this hatch. We only have to unlock it to let him out.
But who is Bill talking to? He may be talking to Horace, or he might be talking to one of the crooks.
Well, we'll just have to unbolt the hatch very carefully and see. Here goes. Now, help me lift the hatch. It is Bill. And it's all right. He's with Horace.
Bill! It's us! Philip and Jack!
Hello, boys. Good to see you. Thought you'd never get here.
Oh, fresh air, that's better.
What's going on? Look, there's that villainous boy. Wait till I get him.
You'll wake the guard.
Yeah, what is it?
Too late. He has done.
Yeah, what sort is it? Hey, what are you doing?
All right, boys, leave the guard to me.
Who's there?
Definitely not a friend, old chap. Take that!
Ooh!
Oh.
Gosh, Bill, what a punch.
Yeah, he'll be out for the count for quite a while, I should think. Oh dear, we seem to have woken them up ashore. Time we made ourselves scarce, I think. How did you get here, boys?
We swam from our boat over there.
Well, we'd better all swim back then. Overboard we go. Tip along, where are you? You better come too.
I can't swim.
Well, jump overboard and I'll help you.
Oh, I couldn't. I don't. I couldn't.
Stay where you are then. We'll come back for you later. I'll have to go with these kids. Can't let them down now. Over the side then and swim for the boat. It's getting light and they don't seem to be following us. I'm surprised they let us get away as easily as that.
But what were the crooks doing? We heard them say something about guns.
Gun running. A very wicked trade. Strangely enough, they were the very crooks I was told to come up here to get away from. They gave us false clues, which made us think they were operating in Wales. They dropped the guns by parachute into the water to be picked up later.
That's what we saw from Puffin Island.
Yes, thanks to you children, it looks as though we're going to beat those crooks.
What's happening?
We've run out of petrol.
What a pity!
You never said a truer word, Kiki.
Now what are we going to do?
Shall we row, just for something to do? Or have a meal? Or what?
Oh, have a meal. I say, Bill, I suppose we ought to start rationing ourselves, oughtn't we? I mean, do you think we may be marooned out here on this lonely sea for days on end?
No, we really don't need to think of things like that at the moment. All the same, I wouldn't have headed out for the open sea as we have done if I thought the petrol was going to give out. I'd have kept near the islands.
Well, thank goodness it isn't cold anyway. Even the wind is warm. Don't we seem a long way from home and from school and from all the ordinary things we know?
Yes, we're far away from everywhere. Lost on a sea of adventure.
Look, Bill, a seaplane. I think it's coming in to land alongside us.
You're right, Philip. It's those crooks. I thought they let us get away too easily. Quick, lie down flat on the deck, all of you.
Ahoy there! Show yourselves!
Don't move.
We've got our guns on you any funny business and you'll be blown to smithereens! Show yourselves!
It's no good. I must stand up. I don't want them to machine gun the boat. All right, don't shoot. I give up.
Bill Cunningham! By all that's wonderful, it's Bill Cunningham! Why on earth didn't you welcome us instead of making us think you were part of the gang?
Good heavens, it's you, Joe. Look here, kids. It's my colleague, Joe. You got my radio message then?
Aye, we certainly did.
Are we rescued then?
Aye, you certainly are.
And so our sea adventure is over?
Any more for the Skylark?